It's insane, and I mean that in the most what the heck is happening in that volume way. This new illustration that is released from Y2V volume 12.5 is like totally unexpected. And not to mention, I noticed something strange in this illustration which could change the context of it. So stick around to see something strange in it. Now before I show you that, I would like to talk about Ichinose because it is about her, and I want you to imagine what's the worst that could happen to her. And no, the illustration is not about Ichinose shoplifting. So what's the worst? Well, the main complaints about Ichinose's character was that she was too soft, and then her phase where she couldn't move on from Ayana Koji, her class going downhill because of her, and all of that. But that went away when she finally moved on from that phase. And to be fair, she did great after that. She had us and even characters like Ruin at the edge of their seat until she got destroyed by one and only, and even after that we had hope. She might bounce back, who knows? And more importantly, the promise with Ayana Koji is still left. What is he going to do? Is he going to transfer to her class? Will he accept her? What does he have in mind for her? Well, you guys are just going to find that out. And remember I asked what's the worst? Yeah, I think it's her going back to that phase again. And without any more delay, here is the illustration. Yes, this is it. Now you guys tell me in the comment section, did I say anything that's not accurate? And I know a lot of things are going around your mind, but let's go by this step by step. So, initial expressions. We can see Ichinose and Ayana Koji, but can I just say I don't know how they make Ayana Koji seem cooler and cooler every other volume. Like, look at him. Like, now I finally know why almost all of the girls falls for him in this series, and now I'm just surprised like what took so much time. Should have been the most popular guy in the school by looks from this chart. But anyway, this illustration, it looks like both of them are in a room. You can see the AC there, the door, and perhaps a table or the bed, and it's most likely Ichinose's room. How? Well, judging by the way they are dressed, it looks like Ayana Koji is the one that came to her room, and especially by the situation, it doesn't look like Ichinose would have had the courage to come to Ayana Koji's room. But, I hear you saying, can't it be Ayana Koji's room? Like that's where they met a year ago. It would make sense if they are there after exactly 1 year. And I can see why you would think that, and maybe Ayana Koji forced her to come or something, but I'm just saying that that's unlikely. Alright, now moving on to Ichinose. And we can see while Ayana Koji is in his casual clothes, Ichinose on the other hand looks more so in her school clothes. Like we can see her shirt and her skirt, so possibly it's happening sometime after school. Not necessarily, could be that she is just wearing similar clothes. But the most worrying point is the pose she is in. She looks devastated, like she's given up. And Ayana Koji, what are you going to say? Surely you are not going to say what you said to Kei, right? This situation looks too similar. I believe Ayana Koji is trying to do exactly what he did with Kei, to totally break her. Like totally. No crumbs left this time. And what length will he go to do that? I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments. What is he thinking here? Or what is he going to do? I'm looking forward to all of your thoughts. Regardless of that, it might turn out to be good if Ichinose is completely healed from here. If that happens, or either she will be the Kei for Ayana Koji in the third year, which Ichinose supporters might count as a win after all this battle with Kei supporters. But you might be wondering why this is happening. Was the previous development of Ichinose not enough? Well, not really, because if you remember, then the yandere development that Ichinose had was not something Ayana Koji was expecting. It wasn't his way to do things. That was something that happened on his own, and this was Ayana Koji's plan from the beginning, it seems, to finally do what he is trying to do here to her at the end of the second year. Now on to the strange thing about this illustration, and I'm telling you now it might look stupid, but once I noticed I just had to say it, alright? And it's the button of Ayana Koji's shirt. Look at the last button. It's unbuttoned, right? When I saw this for the first time, I was about to dismiss it as non-important until I thought, hold on a second, is there a reason behind this? And I think there might be. Why? Well, I went back to previous illustrations to check if Ayana Koji always keep the last button of his shirt opens. And at first I couldn't find any buttons because in almost all of the instances, all of them were covered with his tie. So much so that I felt it was intentional on Tomose-sensei's point, like to avoid drawing buttons, you can just draw a tie over it. And this points to the fact that Tomose-sensei is aware of this part specifically, right? Moving on, I know we can see it spread around in these illustrations, but there's no space here. So if there was to be any button, then we would have seen that space. So there isn't any, right? So I kept looking for more where Ainakoji wasn't wearing any coat or fully unbuttoned shirt, and well, I found some, and you can see that it's clearly buttoned. So why was this one left unbuttoned? And one very important thing, you might see this and say, look, there's no space for a button here. So most probably Tomose sensei forgot about the space in these illustrations as well, and that's wrong. Because you see, this is not the official illustration. I mean, this is, but officially this illustration was released with sample written on it. And here you can see the space. So the space is there, which means Tomose sensei is aware of this, as we previously guessed. And as for why the space is not here is because someone tried to remove the sample part from the official illustration, and in doing so they also removed that space that should be there. So keeping that aside, why are we discussing this? Why is it important whether Tomose sensei was aware of the buttons or not? That's because what if it was there for a reason, and a very important reason? What if Kinugasa sensei gave a brief to Tomose sensei telling him to keep that button open in the illustration? But why would that happen? What's the point? The point being, if the open button wasn't required, Tomose sensei would have just not drawn it like the other illustrations, like it had been done in the past. So why bother to draw it? Maybe because of a similar scene like this. Something along the lines of Ainakoji is unbuttoning his shirt to show Ichinose that he is serious about whatever he is saying, just like he did to Kei in volume 4. And that would make her like that, so this could be the reason she is like that. It's not hard to imagine Ainakoji going with similar strategies, but as I said, it's just a flying thought and I am not expecting it to be right. It most likely is there only for show, as I did found only one illustration that had it same. Can you guess which one? It is the famous fight scene one. Only this had it open. So maybe it's reserved only for cool scenes, which will be confirmed when the volume gets released. But let me know if you think if it's related to Ainakoji's action or if it's just there for show. And I think that's about it for what we can deduce from this illustration. And if you are from either Kei's faction or Ichinose's faction, then be ready, because this volume we finally will have an answer. A breakup with Kei and a possible group up with Ichinose might be on the cards. Let me know what you think, and if you are a neutral fan, then grab your popcorns and enjoy the comments.